What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing out there this Saturday evening, September the 17th? Welcome to edition of Real Talk for Real Men. We have moved to Saturdays instead of Sundays in anticipation of the end of summer and the coming of winter. Winter is a coming, y'all. Don't let the temperature fool you outside. Winter is a coming, but we also in the full throes of football season. And so for those purposes, I wanted to move the show back to Saturdays to accommodate those that love to use their Sundays for sports, religion, just doing nothing. So I hope you come take this ride with me and follow us over here to Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get things popping. I want to bring in my co-host from Memphis. This is Miss Tasha. How you doing, McMack?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. The back is kind of healing. I got my smoke, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
No wonder why you came on like a crime boss, like you had to deliver a message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So good to have you. We're going to get this thing popping. And I got my brother from Texas, Mr. Kenny. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fam? Look at you, Black. What's up, Tasha? Hey, man, Kenny? You looking like a boss, man. You look like you got. You look like you already told somebody to go rub somebody out. You got somebody.
I appreciate that. It take a lot of hard work to get to this place, and we all have in the wing just saying hello to us, Mr. TFG himself. This is Mr. Lamar Falk, and if you don't know, Real Talk is one of the shows on the TFG platform shows, and we are on the YouTube and Facebook, TFG Uncut and TFG Ratchet, because we kind of talk real and raw here. That's the way we do it. But this is the man right here who make it all possible. This is Mr. Showtime, Mr. Barry Gordy himself. I truly believe this man is on to
What's up, Barry? What's up, big? What's up, guy? Yeah, he's the man. He's making it happen. He gets it done for sure.
Now, if this is your first time joining us, we usually have a few more family members, but we only made the switch to Saturday over a few days ago from Wednesday's show. So we got to give our family a chance to adjust. And two of our family members, we want to wish a special congratulations. If you watch the show, Hannah and Bert got married yesterday.
Yeah.
Woo! Congratulations, fam. What's up? Hey, beautiful thing. Yeah.
When we started this show, this is all about love and the relationship between men and women. And for us to watch this unfold over the last couple of years and reach fruition where they did the damn thing. Sorry I couldn't be there with you guys, but we love you. Congratulations. We wish you nothing but the best. Can't wait to see you when you come back, because now you'll be Mr. and Mrs.
This is Paulson. Hey, and let me get a shout out to another couple that's getting married right now. LaShawn Martin and Terrence White. I want to wish them, they in Atlanta, actually, Black. They are getting married as we speak right now. Funny story, real quick. I actually matchmake these two people. I never met them in my life. We were just in groups on Facebook.
Whoa.
She reached out to me because she liked Terrence. She saw him and she's like, "Hey, what's up with your friend?" I said, "Okay, I'm gonna shoot the message to Terrence." I said, "Hey, Terrence, I got a friend of mine. She's kind of digging you. Want to see what you get. What's up?" They ended up connecting, but that's like 2 years ago. They got engaged. They got engaged a year ago, and they're getting married today. And I want to say congratulations to LaShawn and Terrence. And just call me the Black Chuck Woolery. I can make it happen. I can make it happen in 2 and 2. I make it happen for me, but I can make it happen for you.
That's what it's all about, and that's at the heart of our show. That's what throughout the jokes, the funny things, and sometimes even a little offensive language, and we might, tweak it, everything. At the heart of this show, it's really about finding that right person, to bring each other together. That's what it's always been about. That's what it's always going to be about. And that holds out hope for the rest of us. So I love to hear those.
Yeah, me too.
All of us three happen to be single. So it really sends the message to us that it's never too late. And sometimes when you least expect it, and maybe even a way you wasn't even looking for it by that story you told, Brother Ken, love can find you. So
yeah, you're right. You just got to,
you know,
you got to keep your options open and keep hope alive, like Jesse Jackson used to
absolutely,
say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with just three of us, we should have an interesting conversation because you know that on the weekend shows, we have it more light. It's very lighthearted. It's more fun. Just a chance to connect and relax and talk about some things that, you know, are probably standard stuff, but we can have a little fun with it. So today, you know, I'm calling this show Relationships Inside the Movies because one of the conversations Tasha and I we've had this conversation many times. We are both movie buffs, and we talk about how sometimes when you see movies and the way they're presented, especially with the heroes and heroines, but then you kind of, in hindsight, reflected sometimes at how things wasn't quite how they may have been marketed, and you go behind the movies and look inside the relationships, and we find some jacked up things sometimes. So Tasha and I, we're going to have a conversation about movies that we all should know. Your black card's probably going to be revoked if you don't know some of these movies, but you know, these
Oh
should
boy,
be watch,
yeah.
common. And so, and the beautiful part about this, I don't know which movies are selected. I love when we do shows like this where Tasha's holding those cards. So anything you hear from me is going to be very spontaneous. So Tasha, bring us off with that first movie that we can go behind the scenes of.
Right. So this is going to be, and let me just preface it like this. In some of in some of our other shows, we have touched on some of these a little bit, and that they have, you know, like when more people have on, there has been some discourse about like who people felt like was really the villain, who was really wrong. So, you know, it's always interesting like to get like another perspective. But for the first movie, I went back because there's not shit on TV. Let's just be clear. Ain't nothing really to watch on TV. I went back last night and I rewatched The Best Man, the one that came out, the first one.
The
what was
first
that like?
one, okay.
90, yeah, like 99 or something like that. It was
something like that.
a while back. Not the one, not The Best Man Holiday, but The Best Man. And in rewatching the movie, and of course, you know, like Black said, if you haven't seen it, shame on you. But rewatching the movie, you know, now it made me kind of think like, okay, like who was really the bad guy? Whose fault was it? Who was really the one that kind of, you know, kept up all the drama? And if you want to break it down even further, let's break it up, the men and the women.
Okay.
Because to me, there is a difference there. So
okay. All right. So we've seen the movie. So to me, I think it's important to give a little synopsis of the summary of the plot of the movie. So you have and I'll call actors, you know, or their character. I don't know. Taye Diggs, you know, is he's a writer. Well, no, they're in college essentially, but he's a writer, and he's got a book coming out. And what he's written about in this movie is it's kind of semi-autobiographical about himself, but he tells these stories in this book. And in one particular case, he has slept with his best friend's fiance. They're about to get married. So hence the title, The Best Man. He is the best man in the wedding, and they're the best of friends, these three. You know, they've been friends from college, you know, all the way up to now. So him being Lance's best friend, the groom, he's seen all of the dirt that Lance has done. And Mia is portrayed in this movie as just this long-suffering, perfect girlfriend, through all the stuff that Lance put her through. She just was the perfect girlfriend. So now he's ready to crown her with the ultimate gift of marriage, putting her on a pedestal because he plays football and, you know, I think for the New York Giants, as a matter of fact. So he's successful.
Right.
You know, so he's rich, and they're coming to this wedding. And hence, the book is about to come out. And what happens is an old flame of Taye Diggs, who he was attracted to, but they never slept with, some kind of way that they end up discovering that what the story in the book is about Lance them. So hence a farce of just keeping this secret and all the things that happen leading up to a marriage, you know, the strippers and all that stuff. And when the secret comes out, so where we're at now, Tasha, is who's the villain? Because in the movie, the villain clearly is Tay Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
So, clearly, he's painted as the villain. He slept with Lance's fiance and kept this secret and put it in a book, in a nutshell. And here we are. It's coming out on wedding day. Now, Tasha, I'll let you talk some about who you feel is truly the villain in this movie.
When I first watched the movie, and I'm only going to be talking about the men right now. When I first watched the movie, I felt like Lance was the villain, not Harper.
Okay.
I felt like that because
go ahead.
I felt like that because it's one of those things. It's karma. What you put out into the universe, it comes back on you. And how you gonna get mad about something that happened years ago when you were doing what you were doing? How dare you? How dare you get mad? And again, when I first watched it, I was like, he didn't pursue your girlfriend. He told you from the very beginning that she's a good girl and that to leave her alone. Even when you wanted to, even when you insisted on the introduction, he told you no, to leave her alone. So that's, for me, initially, like when I first saw it, I thought it was Lance. And of course, like having rewatched it, like over the years, and even last night rewatching it, Harper was the fucking problem. He was the absolute fucking problem. And I'm not saying like I would absolve Lance of anything that he did. I still feel like, yeah, he got what he deserved. But Harper, why? That's something you should have just taken to your grave. And then on top of that, it came down to like the damn near the end of the movie to where you actually admitted it. You lied to Robin. You told her you didn't sleep with her. Mia never admitted to Jordan, even when Jordan kind of cornered her and asked her about it. She lied and she said that they never slept together. She would never admit it either. And even in the end, you're still lying about it. You put out this book. You're mad because Jordan got the book and passed it amongst friends and everything. And on top of that, Quentin, he knew the whole time without even saying it. So for me, for the men, yes, I would say Harper was a problem because Merv, he just didn't have a fucking backbone.
Okay. What do you think about this, Kenny?
I'm a roll with Tasha. I think Harper is the common denominator for all the messiness, and I thought that from the beginning. First of all, you're gonna write a book. You think that none of your friends gonna get this book, and you don't think none of them's gonna figure out who these characters were? First of all, why would you even want to write about that escapade in the book anyway? Keep that. A real player ain't gonna even tell you. He just gonna keep it moving. So if to answer Tasha's question, to me on the men's side, I would say it was definitely Harper, but I ain't gonna lie, Quentin was a petty motherfucker too. Quentin was because he knew everything. But he played it where he was putting Harper in a position like, all right, you keep on, I'm gonna tell it. I know. And he was playing and he was pushing Lance buttons too, because he knew everything. So I thought Quentin was the messy, the petty one, but Harper was definitely the villain, in my opinion.
Woo, okay. Let me. This one is personal to me, believe it or not. As I put this under the microscope, and Terrence, what's up, Terrence in New York? I'm gonna put myself in this position now. I'm not denying that what Harper did was fucked up. Because for me, the biggest sin he did is he violated bro code.
Right.
That for me is the biggest sin. I'm gonna tell you why I said it, and I say this is so personal. I've slept with friends of mine's jump offs. You understand what I'm saying? But if when it's real, when it's the real thing, that person's off limits. That's a line that I'm not willing to cross. If I know, I've had partners out there, and you just kind of knocking down this chick or whatever, but if I sense that this is not going to the ultimate level, not serious, I've knocked them down too. You know, sometimes they knew, sometimes they didn't. When I knew that this was going to be they forever, you know, I got a partner. I knew that this was going to be his forever, and I could have beat that pussy, no doubt about it. But I didn't want to violate bro code. But okay, even as we get into the story, I don't doubt what Harper did was fucked up, but I have a problem with everybody else. I'm gonna be honest with you, because in truth, Neil Long's character, if that's your girl, why wouldn't you go tell it and right off the bat? You know what I'm saying? All these are good friends, and even though Lance and Harper were best friends, you're right. Quentin, once you know, you sat in the wings and you initiated a little shit for your own personal enjoyment, just to see how fucked up this thing was. You know what I'm saying? Even though you know the violation that took place. And then my biggest culprit of all is Mia. So if you're going to say that Harper's supposed to take it to the grave, and I agree, because it's a secret you're supposed to take to the grave, my thing was, you standing up there, I admire that she probably wouldn't have said anything, but does that not make her a villain? Because what it makes me think of, Tasha, to this conversation is, how many people you laying next to right now that got a secret? I mean, a real secret. You know what I'm saying? And somebody who your best partner, your brother, maybe biological or not, but he been in the mix. So what it says to me at the end of the day is she's just as big a villain as Harper is. So
so you saying on the female side, Mia is the villain.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Yes, indeed.
I agree with that.
She's going to stand up there, Ken, in front of man and God and take. And they happen to be religious on top of that. These two was the religious core of this whole group, and gonna stand there pretending like you baby, you fucked this dude.
I totally agree with that. And she came off as Miss Goody Two Shoes too. You know, they're playing like she's Miss Wholesome and all like, that. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Lamar says Harper didn't do a good job with the writing. They should have been figured out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Lamar. I'm glad you said that, my brother, because y'all know I got stories, and Tasha can vouch for this. Some shit you can't keep in. It has to have a way to come out. So while I'm not writing it down, Tasha, we've been doing this show going on 3 years. Tasha, don't you recognize some of the players in my stories?
Yeah, I know. And that's all that goes through my head. Anytime that you tell a story, I'm like, oh, I know who he's talking about.
It has to come out some kind of way. So, Lamar, while I'm not writing it down, these are real shits that I'll be talking about.
Now, to your point, Black, I feel the same way, you know, but again, to me, Harper is head honcho because you told it and then you dedicated the book to them, to their marriage.
That's true. Now that's true.
So you deserve Asshole of the Year award up here. Yeah. But now Mia, that was the ultimate, where yes, she was wrong, but that is the ultimate.
Oh, that's the ultimate woman get
women alone.
That's the ultimate woman get back.
That's the ultimate get back. It is because even, you know, they didn't tell again, you know, like the real life exact, you know, story of what happened. You only have the book's depiction of what happened. And basically she went to Harper to complain about Lance, and because she found out that he was cheating again. You know, so it was like, and she and even in how he told it from the stance of that she pursued him, that she initiated it, and that he had no choice but to, you know, to give into it.
I've been in that situation.
No, Black, you have a choice.
But I've been in that. Yo, we can't run that fast. I've been in that situation. I tripped and fell in. But
you could have told her, not today, Satan. I'm not gonna be so now I have a question. Okay, so then that makes me have a question. As men, number one, Black has already said he's been in a situation like that. Kenny, have you ever been in a situation like that?
No, that go for you too. My question was going to be: have you ever been in a situation, entanglement, as we call them now? Tasha said, really? I'm shocked, Tasha.
Well,
What now?
I'm shocked that you're shocked. That, well, what do you think of me? No, I ain't never been in no situation like that.
Okay.
No, I have never been in a situation where I have slept with someone and I knew they were with my boy. No, I've never been in that. But I've had it happen to me.
Oh man.
But what was funny though, it was just a jump off. So I don't know. I didn't understand why he felt like he had to hide it. If you just came out and said like, "Yo, bro, we hooked up," I'm like, "Cool."
So okay,
that was the only problem I had because he
Right.
tried to hide it. I'm like, that had me feeling some type of way.
so if it wasn't a jump off and it was somebody who you were like truly interested in, would you want to know?
Yes, I would want to know because I wouldn't want to be in the same room where I'm looking like a doggone fool. And
That's why I said
y'all didn't smash and I'm looking stupid. Nah, yeah, I would want to know.
So this is also and let you inside a man code thing. That's why when I said if it's a jump off, let me tell you how that go. It is done with honor, dare I say. But Kenny's right. You don't have to keep that a secret. It's a jump off. How that's supposed to go is you run into old chick, you know she fucking with your man, it go down. Soon as it's over, for me, I'm calling my partner, hey dog, yo man, I gotta tell you something. Shit, Teresa, I hit that. Yeah. I ran into her such and so. Because he's right. I ain't gonna let my man be in a situation where, I know it's a jump off, but then we keeping that look, it ain't necessary, In fact, I've had situations where, if my partner knows it, not serious for me, like, yo, shit, you mind? I'm like, shit, if you can get it. You know what I'm saying? That's man code.
Oh no, but I'm talking about like a real serious. I'm not talking about your jump offs. I'm talking about
you talking about real serious.
Oh,
yeah. No, I have.
But I have also, and I have an extra part of that too. If you wanted to know, and like if you insist on being the one to know, who do you prefer to hear it from, her or him?
Oh, that's a damn good question.
I'll let you go first.
Oh, god damn,
What you want to know?
Your ass, you need to start a damn Q&A just with you. With your question.
What else on the couch?
Wow, who would I really want to?
You know what?
I'll be honest with you.
That's the segment coming.
I think I would.
What do you think about it?
Okay.
Putting men on the couch. I want that. But go ahead, Ken.
I think I would rather hear it from her because she's the one I'm sleeping with.
Okay.
And she's the one I'm emotionally invested in. Because I feel like if I didn't hear it from her and I heard it from him, I'm like, who else you smashing that I don't know about?
Good point.
I ain't telling shit.
Very good point.
That's why you a pimp. That's why you a pimp.
I'm saying like from like a woman's standpoint, I ain't telling you shit. I'm gonna lie. We never slept together. I'm lying.
That's why I said I was shocked that you haven't been in integrity because I know you got a man's mentality. Like I'm thinking, like I don't give it. Unless you got pictures, it wasn't me.
Exactly.
That's a damn good question. God damn, Tasha.
Answer your question for me, Tasha. I truly would not want to know.
Okay.
I truly, I thought about that. I truly would not want to know. I take great delight sitting here telling you that I married my wife and she was a virgin. That's what I need to believe. There was a boyfriend before me, and they were serious. I need to believe when I married her, she was a virgin. That's what I need to believe. So for me, if you carry that secret and we get married, I don't ever want to know. I won't want to pimp like Tasha. Take it to the grave.
Because I ain't going to tell him a damn self.
I need that in my life. I need to live on that lie. That's what it is.
That's a damn good question, though. At the end of the day, I probably really wouldn't want to know, but for this question that Tasha threw out, if you somewhat kind of if I had to know, who would I want to tell?
Right. Damn the dude. Yeah. I need to hear that from you.
Yeah, I
You
need
need
to hear
quiet
that
on
from you.
that one, because now if I got to hear from him first, and I got to
Right.
confirm it, and you gonna put me through, then we got that's a
Yeah.
whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
So,
Yeah.
all right, we apparently
Okay.
only gonna get through 2 movies on this thing.
Well, but I knew this one, had like a lot of moving parts to it. So that's
It
why,
did.
I like wanted
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
like see. I mean, we can touch on like the other fucked up relationships in there. Harper's unwillingness to, commit to
Right.
Robin until the very end because of his
Right.
own, unresolved issues with Jordan. And then of course, Robin's, her and Harper's, whole thing. And then Merv and Shell, so we don't even have to touch on that.
Right.
So
right.
And I'm glad it was a movie that I watched, because I'm not a big movie guy, but I watched some. I'm glad y'all picked this one because I watched it like 3 times, so I get it.
I picked movies that I felt like everybody kind of watched. So the next movie is another very popular one, Love and Basketball. And I know that we all have conflicting views on
Yeah,
who's truly the
I
best.
think we did. I remember us talking about this. Yes, we do. Go, yeah, I'm ready for this one. Yes.
So Black, do you want to give the synopsis of it? Just like real quick.
Absolutely. So, Love and Basketball is another Black movie staple, iconic movie. And for some people, the ultimate date movie. It might between this and Love Jones. For you could probably rival those two. Is probably the ultimate date movie. That if you gotta, if you want to snuggle up, even now, want to go back and watch a good movie that's going to give you everything, a great story, laughter, fun, all those things. This is it. Love and Basketball is literally, it lives up to its title. These 2 kids who meet, and they meet as children, and the one thing they have in common is basketball. They're neighbors, and quite naturally being close, what little boys and little girls do as they grow up and they ultimately get to college, and by the time they get to college, they're actually lovers. They've known each other for most of their lives. They know just about the most intimate things about each other. Now, here's where the plot starts to thicken. He is headed to the NBA. He's at the top of his game in college. He's being scouted by NBA players, and his father is a former NBA player. And so quite naturally, he's dealing with all of those issues about, when to turn pro. And the father is a philanderer, as we can expect a lot of athletes to be. He's trying to pass along to his son to not get his head turned by the girls that educate. He's telling them all of the right things as a father. And so to this point, he looks up to his father. His father is just everything. He has him on this platter that he's a man of honor, has never lied to him, this and that. And then he's got his girlfriend. So his life is perfect. But here's the situation. He ends up finding out, long story short, that his father has been just cheated on the mother. He's been cheating on her for pretty much most of the marriage. I can't remember if there was a child involved. There may not be a child involved, but anyway, he finds his mom just broken, and so his image of his dad is blown. And by this time in college, again, he's the top recruit, but his girlfriend is also making her name known on the women's team and vying for a spot. And he puts her in a tough situation where once he finds out his dad is cheated, he needs somebody to talk to, and she couldn't be there with him because she had to honor the rules set up by the team she plays for. And the biggest part you need to understand more than anything is when it's called Love and Basketball, because they love these 2 things equally. So this is not just casually. Basketball is their everything. And so you get this crazy mix of how they go through the stages you happen in relationships with cheating, they break up, and he ends up getting engaged to somebody else. And now she's been playing ball because he got hurt. And now the dilemma is she's still in love with him. And here's where we get to the crux of the whole thing, where everything meets. The night before he is supposed to get married, she tells him she's still in love with him, even though the previous 5 years when they had broke up, there was no contact. So she puts him in an awful position to choose her versus the woman he's been with that he's currently.
If you can't tell people based off of how Black is telling it, how he feels, but go ahead.
Yeah, because he already said she puts him in an awful position, so he already know where he leading.
So I guarantee y'all might not know where. So I'm glad y'all thinking that's where I'm automatically going. But when she tapped on his window, he even said that he says, "This is not the shit you do to somebody. You should, you wait till I'm about to get married and you tell me now." So I could be saying, put some based on the way he felt. I might not feel that way. I might not feel that way.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it
That
either.
shit was planted.
Your presentation didn't seem like it. Yeah.
So I'm loving this. Who in this instance? And as you and that's why I left out a lot of. That's where I was going. I left out a lot of details so that as you make your point, you can fill in the blanks of what happened in their relationship. So I don't want to tell it all. So for you, who's this one? This one is deep. Who's the villain or villains here in this movie? Who want to go first?
This one, loving basketball. I like the way your synopsis, because it has so many different layers to it. I would say I think they both equally villains. In my opinion, I think number one for Quincy, he was a little bit selfish as well, because he felt like that she needed to choose him. But she had her own aspirations. But I also feel like she was a little selfish too, because when he needed her to really be down with him, especially after he found out his dad was cheated and he was feeling some type of way, and she put her love of basketball before supposedly him. So it's hard to say. I think they both equal villains in this. I think, again, I agree with you, Black. I think that wasn't cool for her to wait until the last minute. So now you give your undying love for me, but damn, you could have told me this 3 or 4 years ago. But you wait until the day before I get married. And then he could have been a little bit more supportive of her aspirations and dreams. This is a typical relationship. This love, I mean, when you really look at it, it really is. When you talk about the men and people, especially when both love something that they're passionate about. How can you love? You know what I'm saying? It really goes deep. So for me, I can't put one more villainous over the other one. I think they were both equal villains.
Okay, Tasha, what do you say?
I got 2 villains. Okay. I got 2. Quincy and his no good ass daddy. Both of them.
Both we go.
Both of them.
Here we go.
To me, this movie is the epitome of finally a woman putting herself first. To me, that's that's when I watched it when I was younger. Yeah, I didn't feel that way. I felt more like Kenny, like they were both wrong. Right. But like as I, going back and rewatching it as an adult, and having been like in a relationship, let's start with the dad first, the dad and the mother first. Number one, that is not how you introduce that information to any child. It doesn't matter the age. That's not how you give them the information. You don't sit there and, let them know that you have like the proof. Damn near you don't show them the proof either of what happened. You can have all the fucked up views that you want to of one of the parents, as a partner, but you don't ever tell your kids that, sorry. The dad was wrong all the way around, because not only was he, not only did he, fuck off on the mother, he exercised his options, as you men like to say, he exercised his options, but he was still doing it even after having been retired. So he was still getting, whatever royalty pussy, he was still getting the royalties off of it. Okay. So already and then it was so hypocritical what the advice that he was, trying to give to Quincy, where it may have been, like, it may have been well meant, but fuck you and your advice because you're just a shitty person, okay? Now let's get to Quincy. That is the biggest fucking narcissist. He never supported her or showed love to her like she did for him. Never. Even all the way like through high school and everything, and really he didn't even really truly see her as someone even interested in until that night of the homecoming dance, and when he got the pussy, that was it. All before that, he would clown her, whatever, like the whole neighbor thing. He would allow people around him to disrespect her. So no, Quincy, fucking villain. I can't stand him. And also what she did by telling him the night before the night before he was set to get married, I understand that. First of all, she was playing out of the country. Out of sight, out of mind, I'm not going to think about you. But it's one of those things, it's like, if I don't tell you, I will always regret not being able to tell you. I don't, and I really don't think that she fully expected him to react that, to react that way in giving him that information. I don't think she was doing it to sabotage him. I think she was just like, I just have to let you know. But I say, not her, him. He was a terrible boyfriend. And even pulling that shit on her, you got mad at her for trying to follow the rules. Just when shit started going right for her and she was able to get a starting position, you got mad at her because she was finally able to do well. He didn't come and sit at any of her fucking games. I didn't see him sitting there at her college games, cheering him on and anything like that. He didn't do none of that. He only started cheering her on at the very end once he wasn't able to play anymore and she was able to play professionally. So yes, both of them. Fuck them. Both.
Damn.
All right. And I never interrupted. So let me say my piece. I see it exactly the opposite way. Exactly the opposite way. Now, let's start with Dad. Do I sit here and say he was all fucked up? No. He was a ball player. I love that you used the word options. He was a professional NBA player. And guess what? One of the perks that come along with being rich, or popular, or famous, or an athlete, or singer or rapper, pussy. And the wife, she married him. Just like Hillary Clinton, you know what your man is all about. You know what you getting. And so you gonna sit here now in your waning motherfucking years of marriage and with your face looking like some kind of droopy dog, angry because he's still getting pussy. He kept himself up. He's still in good physical shape. He's still rich, look like. He's still handsome and look like. So he's still getting pussy. If he was getting pussy all through the marriage, I'm bravo, my brother, that you still getting pussy. I wish I'd have kept myself in shape so I could still be getting some pussy like that. So I'm not mad with him. And the advice he giving his son, I'm not mad with the advice. Sometimes we can shoot the messenger. Just because he was a cheater, that doesn't stop his responsibility as a parent to tell his son how to avoid some of those pitfalls. In fact, who better to be able to tell him that? I'm sitting here now, I tried to pass lessons along, to mine. And again, I didn't want him to suck dick. The last thing in the world I would have thought that would have happened. So the reality is, and yes, it was coming from me of all people who done all kinds of dirty shit. But damn, that the message, I ain't mad with the message. So I'm not mad with Quincy's dad. Now let's get to the relationship themselves. You say he never supported her? I disagree with that. If you look at there is a particular scene in the movie where she says he said, yeah, see, you did your thing. They might not have shown him at her games, but clearly he was supportive. And then the reason why you say he wasn't a good boyfriend, Tasha, sitting right there on this screen right here, people attract what they like. So her love started from a little girl and it never diminished. You know why? He does it for her. So where you want to call him a narcissist or whatever, clearly that's what she liked. Clearly he was beating that pussy correct and treating her well enough that she really loved him. And the night of the whole thing coming down, yeah, she should have been there for him. In that moment, you know him better than anybody know him. You might even know him better than he knows himself. And what was clear is devastating news. You mean to tell me you selfish bitch you that you couldn't have broke curfew to sit out there and be there for him? So I'm kind of on his side. And from that point, and you said about he didn't even notice her until the dance. Tasha, do you know how many women that roll along with you that you view as, I ain't even looking at her that way, and then you finally see them in a different light? We're men. We're dumb like that. That's how we do shit. You know, how I even married my wife. I was not looking to marry her. I'll put this, God strike me down right now. I was waiting for the lightning. If I'm not, if I'm not telling the truth.
See now, God, that was him. That was him.
Hey, the Most High, I ain't got nothing to do with what he's doing and saying. That ain't got nothing to do with
me. If I'm not telling the truth. I was in a 30-minute trip from one city to the next is when I fell in love with and she ended up being my wife. When we got in the car, she was just this is on God, as these young people say. This is on God. When we got in the car, she was just a girl to me, you know, and I didn't even look at her that way. I didn't even look at her that way. 30 minutes later, I was interested in her. So to the point of that story, he had grown up with her. He saw us like a buddy. They wrestled and everything. They played ball. And all of a sudden, now you got to remember now, let's tell this part of the story. She carried herself like a tomboy. So for the purposes of this prom, Tasha, this was probably the first time he saw her girly and hiding all that stuff. See, you won't accept that, but that's the God.
Disagree.
I agree with that.
Disagree.
Disagree.
I don't want to take up
Tasha don't want to accept that.
Disagree because you can't even realistically make me believe that, because even being next door neighbors, you can't tell me that they never, as a family, never went out anywhere, that she never dressed up or anything. I disagree with that.
Probably not. Probably not at that teenage years. Yeah. Disagree.
But I will say this though, but to your point where you're talking about the dad, about the messenger, you can say what you want to, but if you're giving me fucked up advice, if you're giving me advice and you're still doing the same fucked up shit, fuck your advice. He was still doing the same shit.
Bad, but that don't mean advice is bad. It might be coming from the wrong place or even the wrong person. A bum on the street could walk up to me and say, you know what? I wouldn't go in that store if I was you because they raid that place, blah, blah, blah. So am I questioning the source? And then I might look and see him go in there. I'm like, oh, shit. I don't have a problem with him giving that advice. Tasha.
No, take your own advice, because he still wasn't even taking his own advice.
In life, people do that all the time.
He was trying to keep all the pussy to himself. That's what he was trying to do, himself, his ass. He was trying to keep all the pussy.
We do that all the time. Again, you know.
No.
I would have wished on my son that he got pussy at the level I did, you know, even though his dick was way bigger than mine. But I wouldn't have wished it on him because, again, I know the shit that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted him to get some.
Don't listen to that, Kenny. Don't. I cannot believe he just said that. Don't listen to that.
I can believe he just said it.
Ain't no lightning bolts come through it yet.
Canceled. That was
Lord have mercy.
And I'm Tasha, I was going to challenge another point you said about never seeing her that way. That he might have never. I've never ever seen you in a dress or a skirt. Never.
You're
ever.
Never gonna see me in a dress or a skirt. Never.
Listen to what she's saying. So I'm gonna make my point.
Right.
So what if something happened, and I've never seen you, but whatever the reason, whatever. Your dad or whatever, and you did it for that reason, and for the first time, stop shaking your head. I'm just
you're never gonna see me in a skirt.
Right, and that's cool, but for purposes of this conversation, but for purposes for this point, though,
if I had never seen you in that light, because even you, I don't look at you sexually. You
Mhm.
know, you just Big Mac. I lived with you. I
Right.
lived with her for 7 months. 7 months I lived with her. I seen her come out the shower wrapped in a towel. I never, ever, not one time thought, shit, she got some big old titties. It never hit me. I know your shape, but I didn't look at it that way. But what I'm trying to tell you is, we as men, and you probably gonna never understand this. Then
She won't understand it. I agree, Black. I totally agree with what you're talking about.
we get that part, you baby.
I disagree. I'm
Y'all-
sorry. You can't.
Because I've had that happen with someone that I've, you know, me and her has been really close, and she's not a bad looking, but I never thought of her that way. But then one day she put on something, and I was like, damn. I didn't know she had it like that.
No,
I mean,
it's the
that's
same
just
person.
No,
Same person.
but not for us. It's not. It's not for us. It's not. That's
It's
what we're
the
trying
same
to say.
person. I'm telling you, she's the same person.
I'm gonna ask one last question on this.
Okay.
Tasha, you've been in the club with me. Haven't you seen me and Jay? We sitting there, we drinking, we talking, and we look over at a table, and a chick kind of stands up, does something, and me and Jay are going, God damn, I didn't know she was sitting on all that. It's that moment that I've been looking at her all night, and it didn't register in that way. And then she stood up, and I'm seeing her full shape. In this movie, she was always just like a boy.
She was a tomboy the whole movie. Yeah.
Now
you
come, they done done her hair. She got on shoes.
Yeah. And they played ball together. They did all that. They were
the best
just
acting he did was that look that he gave her, like,
right,
for the first time. Oh wow, you know, and that was it, Big Mac.
Disagree.
But that's a guy thing. Tasha won't ever be able to see that because that's a guy thing.
Right.
So that's
No, you just never gonna be able to convince me. Lifelong neighbors. You've never seen her in anything else.
I'm gonna tell you, it can happen, Tasha. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you could be friends with you could grow up with a young lady, and she tomboys, and y'all play together all y'all years, and you never seen her girly. It's some girls like that. And then that one time you see her like dolled up, you're like, damn.
Me and my sister Sherry, she was on the show tonight. We shared a room up until we was 12 years old. I never seen her underwear, we just shared a room, and it was, 9 of us living in a one apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment. I never seen my sister's under things.
Mm-hmm.
You would think one little ass bathroom. And so I'm making a point that I'm trying to think, have I ever seen your underwear? I live with you.
No. Even
when you would sit out and watch TV, the most I ever seen was your legs. You had on some shorts, So, baby, it can happen.
Disagree. It can't. Lifelong, nope. You've seen her in something else. Lifelong neighbors, you've seen her in something else.
We agree to disagree on this.
I give up. This is where I really wish I had some other women I get on the show. I give up. But back to the villains, we see this movie completely differently. We see it completely differently, And even on a serious note, getting to the marriage thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was rather selfish of her. I like the line he said, you think the sun rises and sets on your ass. He said, guess what? But it doesn't.
Well, women think like that too.
And that's where
what we're not going to do is say that it's women that think like that when men do the exact same thing.
Let me clarify. Most women, not all, but most women really do.
But Tasha, there really is. Even the most famous of women, that is their mindset. The Kim Kardashians. It's all about me. And in my time, and how come the woman always gets to say, well, I need some time and this and that, blah, blah, blah. You want to talk about timing. Mm-hmm. She was busy playing overseas. So, okay, we're going to pretend, Tasha, that letters, texting, whatever. 5 years. When you cut somebody off, even if I love your fucking dirty water, when you cut me off, what am I to do but move on?
Right.
I think it's insanely selfish that you show up after 5 years, Tasha. Baby, I would give you. I would give you a year. Something can happen. If 5 years go by, now you come reintroducing yourself to my life, and I'm thinking, okay, whoa, good to see you, blah blah blah. And again, maybe I haven't moved on all the way in there. And that's what she banked on.
Here's another right, and I agree, Black. Here's another point that I think that we probably kind of miss. But again, it's a movie. Everything ain't gonna happen like in real life. But the one thing, they started off as childhood friends, and they grew up. They were always close. So my thing is, even if y'all didn't work out relationship wise, when she went overseas, you telling me that y'all still wasn't cool enough to keep in contact? I'm saying on both ends. I'm saying on both ends. I'm saying.
Well, I was gonna say, wait a minute, y'all acting like he was reaching out to her when he was not.
No, that's what I'm saying on both. I'm saying on both sides. That's what I'm saying.
He reached out to her and she didn't answer.
He reached out to her parents, not to her. To her parents.
I need to go back. I thought he said her, but I need to go back and look at that part.
No, she's overseas, so evidently he didn't have her communication information for overseas. Think about it. This wasn't where you could just pick up a cell phone and call. You got to call like collect and everything. You got to have like a landline. But still, But the only let's be clear about something too. The only reason why she came back, that she reappeared in his life, like you said, is because he got hurt. Had he not gotten injured, it still would have been out of sight, out of mind for him. She never would have even known he was engaged. She never would have even known about the marriage.
I agree with that part. So her reason we can debate what her reason coming back, but when I say reintroduce into my life, if you came because I'm hurt, come in the hospital and say, hey, and then move on, which is what he thought she did. Nice to see you. So I'm not mad with her reasons for coming back.
He wasn't nice in the hospital.
After 5 years, you walking in. She walked in as he was limping to the bed. He looked up, and after 5 years, oh shit, how you doing, Monica? So if her reasons was popping back into his life after 5 years because he got hurt, and then she inadvertently got introduced. Oh, by the way, Monica, this is my fiance. So now,
oh yeah, I knew that one gonna work.
My thing is,
with that fiance
right there. But if your heart, you could have said something, but you know what? He's right. You waited till the night before this man was about to get married because you couldn't sleep, and your mama finally gave your tomboyish ass the courage to go knock on this window and put him in a god-awful position that before I walk and tell this woman, now you want to talk, now you want to go back and talk about our feelings. To me, that's shitty.
But he gave into it, so evidently he was still giving. No, wait a minute. He also allowed it to be known. If that was the case, the door was never closed for him. Because if that was the case, he could have left it alone. He didn't have to answer her at the window that night. He could have shut her down, said it's never going to happen. He could have carried his black ass back inside.
So you think the way she did it was okay?
I do. She just had to tell him.
Wow.
She just had to tell him.
Wow.
She could have been like Neo. She could have been like Neo and wrote him a stupid ass letter some years later. It would have been the same thing. I don't think that what she did was wrong. No.
Kenny, please.
But everything he did was wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Damn right. Every fucking thing he was wrong, because y'all are trying to absolve him of it because
I'm not trying to absolve Quincy of anything.
Okay,
but what you trying to do is make Monica make her the victim in this. Wow. That's what you trying to do, is make her the whole victim. She's not.
Because she is. Yes, she is. He was wrong. It's him. It was always him. He could have shut it down, but as a man, he wasn't strong. He wasn't strong enough to shut it down. He could, if he really wanted to be with that other woman, he could have. He could have turned Monica away at the hospital. Yes. It was him.
So you saying so you don't believe Monica was playing games during this whole relationship?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Okay, folks. You
Nope.
know what? We got about 4 minutes left. So I'm gonna
But
say this.
let me say this. I already knew that Quincy wasn't gonna marry Tyra Banks because big forehead women are fine, but they got bad attitude. So I knew that shit wasn't gonna work anyway.
That's a whole nother story.
That's
That's a whole nother story. Dickhead,
I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. So
oh my God.
Something is wrong with y'all. Something is wrong with y'all.
This is why the last 4 minutes I'm gonna end on here. This has been Real Talk with relationships inside the movies, and it has lived up to what this show has always been about.
Yeah.
Men and women, we got a lot of room to get to here. We started this show by congratulating two couples. Y'all, us three we single. We a long ways away. We have been able to do because we just talking about movies, and it's clear that we don't see them the same way.
Yeah, man. And that's okay. But that's okay.
And the other part is it's okay because that's what our show has always been about. Please, please, please like our show. Comment. We live by comments. We need them. We want them. It adds so much flavor to what we do here. It keeps us on our toes. And we have a motto here. We can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. So even when you don't agree with us, let us know. Share this content, please. And above all, subscribe to my channel. You can find me directly on YouTube or Facebook. And I am a part of a bigger platform called TFG TV. And you can find me on TFG Ratchet, TFG Uncut. And I always like to close the show by letting audiences know everything that's happened on TFG, because even though you might not be watching now, I actually have viewers who go back and watch my show after the fact. And so I want you to be able to find us in content like this. And this man right here, this is my true brother right here, Mr. Kenny. And he's also, in an executive position with TFG. And so he got the layout for where you can find this shows like this. Mr. Kenny, take us home, brother.
Man, awesome show. I loved it. I hope everybody that watches this later, make sure y'all comment. I like Brother Black said, even though if you're not watching it live, come back and watch it later. Comment, because we go back and respond to the comments as well. Yep. But you can find the hosts with the most, Lee Black and Tasha. You can find them on Real Talk for Real Men and TFG Uncut and TFG Ratchet on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. Wednesdays, we talk a little bit more of what's trending and what's going on and what's more important to our communities. Make sure you come check them out on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then now the new day on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Central. Is a little bit more light like we had tonight. I think these are the conversations that in the shows that people will really gravitate to. Make sure you come watch these. Make sure you like it, comment, share it to your social media platforms. Again, that's Lee Black and Tasha, the host, and that's Real Talk for Real Men, TFG Uncut, and TFG Ratchet. Now, part of the TFG group, we got Lamar Falk that came in here a few minutes ago. That's the Barry Golder of this ship. You can catch him. He's the real estate insider. He does live shows on Fridays and Sundays. Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central. He goes live showing celebrity homes on Fridays and Sundays. Sundays, I believe, is the same time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So make sure you check out the Real Estate Insider on that YouTube channel with Lamar Falk. He's going to be showing you some of those celebrity homes. Now, on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, TFG Tonight with the host, Brenton Haynes, myself, Lee Black, Devin Devine. We're talking news, politics, sports, whatever's trending. We're gonna we have great conversation. We're gonna give you something to really you can chew on. We can debate about. Make sure you come check us out on that YouTube channel, TFG Tonight. The host, Brenton Haynes. Again, that's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the TFG Tonight YouTube channel. Go over there. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share it. On Tuesday nights, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Your guy, that's me, TFG Sports Media. You can catch me For 30 minutes, I'm giving it to you straight with no chaser. We talking sports, and that's my love, but I love to talk, period. So come check me out. Make sure you come subscribe. Make sure you come like it, share it. TFG Sports. Check it out on Tuesdays at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central. Also on Tuesday nights, you can also get some religion. We ain't all heathens. I say that all the time. We got a little bit of spirituality in our lives. Come check out Miss Val, Minister Val, Pearls of Wisdom. She does her show on her Pearls of Wisdom YouTube channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. Then on Tuesday nights as well, the wrap-up with Lamar Falk and Charles Moore, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Man, you better have a drink. They give it to you straight with no chaser. They going through a lot of the questions on the his and hers relationship group on TFG. If you ain't in that group, make sure you go check it out. It's entertaining. It's interesting topics, but make sure you go check out the wrap-up with Lamar Falk and Charles Moore on their channel, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. Then on Wednesdays, Forgive Us Later with Charles Moore, Lamar Falk, and DJ Sullivan, 8 p.m. Eastern, around 7:30. I'm sorry, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. They are going wild. They wilding over there. Make sure you put some holy oil, some olive oil, some holy water all on your mobile devices because they talking crazy. They have Tasha would have a good time over there anyway. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Forgive Us Later. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out all that. Man, listen, TFG TV, the whole network, we got something for everybody. Come support Black businesses. All we need for you to do is subscribe, like, doesn't cost you anything. Comment. We want to talk back with you. Come check us out. We got something for you.
We
back
absolutely
to you, Black.
do. Thank you, Brother Kenny. I appreciate you. Appreciate Lamar the boss for popping in. Appreciate Terrence for popping in. And of course, Brother Kenny, the love, and Tasha. You know, y'all make this all possible for me. You know, I always, after these shows, I am so mentally, emotionally, and even physically relaxed. This is just beautiful. So y'all have made my Saturday just that much better for me able to ride off into the rest of the night and do what I do. But
who you gonna be riding? You gonna be riding somebody tonight?
You know what?
Who you riding?
I'm a puff a little bit and pass to myself. And I'm just
I know that's right. I'm getting ready to go catch this fight, my buddy. This super middleweight fight tonight. We got Triple G and my guy. Yeah, they got a fight coming on. So I'm gonna go catch
I didn't even realize that. Well, since we all saying what we're gonna do, Big Mac, what's on your agenda as we leave and set sail until Saturday?
You know, just quiet, relaxing, you know, probably like a nice bubble bath, you know, to get over these terrible ass men out here with these fucked up views on. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with y'all. I'm kidding, Kenny. I'm kidding.
I love it. Well, you know what? I do whatever makes you get to that good place.
I know that's right.
You want to happy couples who have made that transition into bliss.
Again, exactly. Congratulations again to Bert and Hannah, LaShawn and Terrence. Congratulations, guys, for sure.
So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
All right. Peace out. Tasha crazy.
Oh man, that was funny, Big Mac.